Let's get back to the real world. We got some fun upcoming content in terms of the presidential debate. 2 days to go until the first presidential debate.
We're tracking the latest on all that. And Mary, let me start with you. Biden campaign focused on abortion.
Yeah, George, we are now getting a bit of a preview of what is to come on the debate stage on Thursday night. The president is hoping that he can hold Donald Trump accountable for his actions in office, and he is trying to put abortion rights front and center. Marking the 2-year anniversary of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade, the Biden team is saying that Donald Trump is to blame. Out on the campaign trail, the vice president saying Trump is, quote, guilty of stealing reproductive freedom from the women of America. 21 states have now banned or severely restricted abortion, and Trump has bragged about appointing 3 of the justices who overturned Roe. He says abortion laws should be up to the states. But Biden has said that he will go even further if he is reelected. And of course, abortion has been a winning issue for Democrats in recent years. The Biden team is hoping it will continue to drive voters to the polls in November, George.
And Rachel, thank you, Mary. And Rachel, the Trump campaign, Donald Trump following a familiar playbook, making a wild and unsubstantiated allegation about President Biden.
Yeah, this is a page straight out of Donald Trump's playbook, George. Donald Trump has done everything from question President Biden's mental fitness to mock his debate preparations. Now he's calling on the president to get a drug test before he gets on the debate stage, and he's funding.
I know you said Democrats are throwing, but Republicans are also throwing. I also say Republicans are throwing all the time. Yeah, I say this all the time. They're trying to do the unthinkable. They're trying to have a 5-person election, dude, where only 5 people vote. They're going for it. In our lifetime, we shall see like only 100,000 people vote. Okay. Hillary Clinton, I've debated Trump and Biden. Here's what I'm watching for. Having Hillary Clinton's opinion is useful because you can win by just doing the opposite opinion of whatever she suggests. Yeah. It's awesome. It's a game of throws, dude.
Raising off of that point, over the weekend, the former president suggested that President Biden was using supplements to get, quote, jacked up before his public appearances. To be absolutely clear here, there is no evidence of that. These are baseless and unfounded claims. And it's not the first time that we have heard Donald Trump use these claims. He once called on Hillary Clinton to get a drug test before they faced off during the 2016 debate. This morning, the Biden campaign insists that Donald Trump is resorting to baseless and obviously false lies. But George, this is a sign of just how nasty things could get on the debate stage in 48 hours.
Okay, Rachel, Mary, thanks very much. And you can watch the CNN presidential debate this Thursday night on ABC. It all starts at 8 Eastern with the...
Let's go. I'll be watching. I'll be sitting down, dude. I'll be sitting down and watching, sitting my ass down and listening. And you will be too. Oh, the graphic goes hard. I agree. You're going to stream it? Yeah, of course, dude. What the fuck? Don't you say they put Biden on stuff before debates? Yeah, no, I think he's definitely drugged up for sure. I'm going to watch the debate with my grandma for her 85th birthday. Oh, God.
It is one of the biggest unanswered questions of the 2024 election. Who will former President Trump pick as his running mate?
And now, just days before the first presidential debate, Trump is telling reporters that he has picked a VP, but has not told anyone who it is just yet. So that's bringing ABC senior congressional correspondent.
They got to get that good adrenochrome specifically. They got to dust off the baby spinal fluid. Make sure they got that good shit.
Rachel Scott from Washington for the latest. Always good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you guys.
All right, so let's talk about it. Before the week is over, we could learn who the former president will choose as his VP. Who are the front runners?
Yeah, and Donald Trump says he already knows who his running mate is going to be. And I'm sure the people that are on this short list would like to know as well, especially because so many of them are going to be traveling to Atlanta for that debate in just 48 hours. And so sources do tell us that they're well into the vetting process for a possible running mate for the former president. And on this short list, you have a number of Republican contenders, from Senator J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, as well as North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. We're also told that Senator Tim Scott, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who is Republican House leadership there on Capitol Hill, are also seen as contenders, and they've also had some information requested from them as part of this process, guys.
In 2016, the pick was then Indiana Governor Mike Pence. What do you think the former president is looking for in his VP this go round?
Yeah, and what a break from tradition, right? You have the former president running again, but not on the same ticket as the vice president that served in his administration. And so much goes into this, right? A lot of this is the loyalty test. We know for Donald Trump, one thing that he always keeps top of mind and who is going to be the most loyal to him. But not only that, but it's also going to be messaging, who can raise the most money. And because the former president has already served one term, a lot of the focus, too, will certainly be on who could probably be on the ticket in 2028. That's something that a lot of Republican allies are keeping in mind. So you have some Republicans that do like the idea of North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. This is someone who many people believe won't really overshadow the former president if he was going to be on the running mate. He's also a wealthy businessman. He could probably help with fundraising. He poured a lot of his own money into his own campaign. Remember, he was a rival against former President Donald Trump in the Republican primary. But then you have
Burgomaniacs. It is our time. It is our time to rise once again. This is a real burger head moment, okay? As you guys know, I've been a loyal supporter of Doug Burgum, okay? You know this. I was very sad when he got a whopping 8 vote, like 8-0. I mean 0-8. Like, I mean, just straight up only 8 people voted for him in the primaries because America was not ready for him. But Donald Trump saw what I also saw, which is a shit ton of money. Okay, that's what he saw. And decided to put him potentially on the ticket. Okay, he saw small town values and he saw an unimaginable amount of money.
You have some other Republicans who are saying that Senators J.D. Vance, Senator Marco Rubio, that presents the party an opportunity to really have a fresh face heading into 2028, guys.
So how are the potential candidates handling the former president's conviction there?
Rallying right behind him. And this has been quite unusual and something very different that we have seen because it's become such a public auditioning process to be the former president's running mate. We saw them line up one by one at the former president's trial when he was convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records in that hush money trial there in New York City. We're also seeing a lot of these people that are on this short list rallying behind the former president when it comes to fundraising. They're out on television. They're defending his record and also pushing it back against the many legal investigations into the former president.
Well, speaking of that conviction, he also really needs to win for his own sake. So in terms of that VP candidate who makes him the most winnable candidate, who is it?
Yeah, it's a really good question here. And this is why you have some people who are saying choose someone that's going to be really a firebrand, that's going to defend the former president. We have certainly seen every single one of these VP candidates do that exactly. Even Senator J.D. Vance, who was once very critical of the former president, called him a moral disaster. At one point, he said he just didn't even like Donald Trump. Well, he's come back around. He's one of his fiercest defenders right now, and he even showed up outside of that Manhattan courthouse as well. So there's one thing that Donald Trump is going to be keeping in mind: who is going to defend him, who's going to be loyal to him. But also, because the former president and his campaign, the RNC, they've spent a lot of money sort of defending Donald Trump against these legal challenges. They also want to have someone that's going to be able to help raise some money for them too going forward.
And what could this pick mean for the presidential race?
Where did you didn't mention how J.D. Vance called Trump America's Hitler? Excuse me, that was before he became a right-wing populist and a senator from Ohio. Okay. Very different times. Just like Donald Trump didn't consider J.D. Vance to be good until he was like, oh shit, I kind of want that Peter Thiel dollar.
Overall, and the GOP party moving forward.
Yeah, a lot of eyes on this one, guys, because look, if you choose someone like North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, maybe he won't run for president in 2028 if Donald Trump ends up winning this election. And so that sort of creates this open field. It will be a complete and total frenzy maybe on the Republican side. And you have Donald Trump who could play kingmaker in that scenario. But if you do choose someone for the former president like Senator J.D. Vance or Senator Marco Rubio, right, there's a lot of Republicans who might rally behind them ahead of 2028 if Donald Trump were to win the election in November. So it could totally set the tone, not only for this election, possibly the next administration, but also the future of the Republican Party, guys.
The woman who knows everything about politics, ABC senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott. Rachel, thank you, and good to see you, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Of course.
You know, the first president.
So fucking good. So fucking good. What is this? The truth comes out?